Today's show is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform to help you stand out in 2025. Today I'm going to show off some amazing watches all under £100 that look far more expensive than they cost. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Today we're going to talk about budget watches, all under £100 that look more than £100. I'm going to cover as many types of watches as I can, and I'm going to give you more than one option. Today is going to be proof you don't have to spend a lot of money to get yourself an awesome watch. Are you budget beauties ready? Let's go. Right, the first type of watch, and this is my favourite, the diver. A watch that is capable of going diving. You may not ever go diving, but this one can do the job. It's got to have decent water resistance, a unidirectional ratcheting dive time bezel, and people, even in 2025, I cannot not talk about this watch because it's still for sale around £50 on Amazon, and it's flipping awesome. The only issue it has, it's a little bit big. I am talking about the MDV 106, otherwise known as the DURO. Whoa. A fully stainless steel case CASIO with a screw-in case back and a screw-down crown. It's 200 meters of water resistance, and this reference still has the awesome fish on the dial. And that dial is very legible. Yes, there is influences there of a Submariner, there's no doubt, but it still looks like a Casio. I used to own one, in actual fact two, but I gave them away purely because they're just a little bit big for me. 44mm in diameter and over 50mm lug to lug. However, when we talk about bang for buck, this watch is the benchmark. Still, yes, the rubber strap's not very good. The lug width is 22mm, so you're going to be able to swap out that strap sharpish and put it on something you do like. But around 3 years ago, there were talks that this watch was going to be discontinued, and for all I know, it may be, but you can still buy it new for around £50 on Amazon. If you've got a 7-inch wrist or above and you haven't tried the DURO yet,
what the flippin' heck have you been waiting for?
My second choice for a diver under £100 is a watch that is on sale on the TIMEX website right now. Spoiler alert, it's the TIMEX. It's the Waterbury Dive 41mm. You can buy it either in the yellow variant or the orange. These watches are absolutely fantastic. Clear, legible, 100 meters of water resistance. They have an inner rotating compressor style bezel, stainless steel case. The crowns are not screwed in, but the case back is, and I do love the different colors of the crowns on the right hand side of the case. The top one being the one that operates the bezel and the bottom one operating the hands. The dial is protected by a mineral glass, but it's just a very clean looking fresh watch that was £170. It's now down to £83. It has a soft silicone strap, which will be very comfortable. Just look at it. It is so clean. That's the word for this watch, clean. This watch is powered by a quartz movement. We are talking about TIMEX, a brand that's been going for a few years now. Great warranty, especially if you buy it on their website. But the big question is, are you a yellow fan or an orange fan? I'll go orange. Before I show you the next watch, I have to talk about today's sponsor, who are Squarespace. They are the all-in-one website platform to help you stand out and succeed in 2025. If you have a business that needs to elevate itself above the competition, Squarespace is the perfect partner to get you right on track. Filled with so many website templates and easy instructions on how to maximize your look, it's almost a surefire win. And we have to talk about the amazing AI blueprint feature, where all you have to do is type in a few keywords and then Squarespace builds your own flipping website, which I might add you can still customize. Hit that link in the description below where you can find 10% off your first purchase or website domain. And listen, if you really want to make it happen in 2025 and make that side hustle an actual business reality, let Squarespace make it happen. So the dive watch is done. onto the field watches. And this is one I haven't seen before. Certainly handled a few around the style, but this is the Citizen Sports Casual Garrison. Cool name. And looks very military, doesn't it? I do love it. I love a watch that is there to do a purpose and to do it fast and do it well. The upside down triangle at 12 o'clock definitely reminds me of an IWC. The rest of it, however, well, it's all Citizen, isn't it? A great looking stainless steel case, only 37 millimeters, so a great field watch size, and it's powered by the famous Eco Drive, which to you and me means solar power. Not only natural light, but artificial light powers these watches. This watch is water resistant to 100 meters. We have a screw down case back, but not a screw down crown. But I almost wish that this Citizen was a mechanical hand wind only, because that is one of the best crowns I have seen on a watch under £100. I don't know about you. It's gonna be so grippy. Great brand, great case, great looking strap. This is at the top of our budget at £98, but this is a great shout for a one and done watch. My second nomination, and you knew it was coming, it's got to be a G-Shock, and it has to be the GMW 5610U. If you are a watch enthusiast that likes your digital watches, this watch is probably the pinnacle for under £100. You've got solar power, multi-band 6, that means atomic timing, as long as you're in an area that picks up atomic timing, 200 meters of water resistance. If you were in the military now, you definitely use a G-Shock. This watch is unbeatable, and if you can find it for just under £100, you've got a friend for life, people, honestly. I do go on and on about this watch, but it's because I've owned it and love it.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Right, we're on to dress watches. I don't usually do dress watches because I'm usually in a tracksuit, let's be fair. However, it is always nice to look a bit smart at a wedding or bar mitzvah. So here are a couple of beauties for you. And I'm gonna stick with CASIO on the first pick. There is no getting away from an integrated sports bracelet, is there? Gerald Genter designed those watches back in the 70s and called them the most luxurious sports watches on the market. They were basically dress watches, really, that had a tint of sportiness to them. Anyway, it's a very popular design, and there's no surprise why so many people own a Tissot PRX. But if you don't want to go down that route and you haven't got the budget for that watch, why don't you try the EFR ST0803AVUEF. So rolls off the tongue. This is a phenomenal 39mm Casio EDIFICE, and it does look influenced by the Nautilus cum Royal Oak design, doesn't it? However, it also looks like an edifice. This is very slim, 100 meters of water resistance with a sapphire glass protecting the dial. And on that dial, that green sunburst is superb. You're gonna get amazing reflection off those polished applied indices. And for £97, which is almost at the ceiling of our budget, this watch truly does look and feel more expensive than the £97. Trust me, I have handled it. It doesn't wear like a 39, it slightly wears bigger because of the integrated bracelet design, but I really do like this watch. So much so, I might end up buying it myself soon. Yeah, God knows you got enough Casios. All right, calm down. This is stainless steel though. It's a win for me. The second dress watch, again, it's right at the ceiling of our £100 budget. It's the SEIKO 5 DAYDATE that I own. This watch is discontinued, but you can still buy it on the likes of Creation watches. And after wearing it last week on holiday, I fell in love with it again. The dial is magnificent. It's a watch that looks far more expensive than it is. A great budget Rolex DAYDATE, there's no doubt about it, but it looks proper SEIKO, doesn't it? This one is powered by a 7S26 in-house automatic mechanical movement. Very hard to get a SEIKO these days for around £100, but if you look hard enough, you can still find them. It's around 37mm in diameter. This will slip under any cuff you have. And just take a look at that dial. I absolutely love it. pilot's watches. Now I don't tend to buy too many pilot's watches because they historically are quite big. Me only having a 6.5-inch wrist, that doesn't go well with me. However, if I see one I like, it won't stop me buying it. And I've got to give a big shout out to Seconda for making this beauty, the Maverick 42mm chronograph. Take a look at this thing. Now yes, obviously there are Breitling inspirations up the wazoo. The case shape is definitely different. Love the big fat subdials. And the dial colour with the leather strap, she just looks awesome. And this is £42. Yes, it's powered by a quartz movement. It may only be 50 meters of water resistance, but I'm pretty sure Breitlings are, aren't they? Where Seconda cuts a little bit of price corners is in the case. It's not made with stainless steel, it's actually brass, which means over time, possibly the silver coating may wear away. It's a material that was used a lot 40, 50 years ago, not so much today, but in doing that can give you an amazing watch that looks far more more expensive than you paid for it. 42mm in diameter, it's only 11mm thick. The dial's protected by a mineral crystal. If you want the hint of a Breitling Navi timer on your watch, buying this watch with a 2-year warranty from a company that has been around forever, what a steal this is. Let me know in the comments below if you've got this watch and send me a picture of it on your wrist. The next pilot's watch is an awesome one from the company LORUS, who if you don't know are owned by SEIKO. It's a great brand that has been around for ages and you know it's not going to let you down anytime soon. This watch is an awesome military style chronograph and the reference is PM3129X1. In actual fact, I think it's a reissue of a watch that was issued to the British military back in the 80s. And look at it, for £65 you can get an awesome looking watch that looks far more expensive than it is. Stainless steel case and screw down case back. It's 100 meters water resistant. This bad boy is a quartz chronograph, and again I am very happy that I found this watch because it shows to me and to you guys you can find some absolute bangers out there. 42mm in diameter, it has a 22mm lug width, which means you can change the strap whenever you want. And for anyone that has chronographs that are mechanical, know how thick they are. This bad boy is only 10mm thick. But listen, for £65, you get an absolute beast. The final type of watch I'm going to give you some recommendations on is a GMT. Basically a watch that has a second time zone. And I'm going to show you a watch with hands and a watch without. First of all, a great watch I reviewed last year, the TIMEX Waterbury GMT. This watch has a unique way of moving the GMT hand with the extra pusher at the 2 o'clock. For around £90, you get a fantastic looking stainless steel GMT from a great company. I love the ratcheting 24-hour bezel, the gilt gold on it, coupled with the Pepsi colours, just gives it a really warm vintage vibe. And at 39mm, this is a watch that can be worn by anyone. I also have to admit, I love the feeling of this strap. I don't know if it's leather. Can't smell any cows, but it is so soft. It's just a great looking watch that looks far more expensive than the £90 you pay. This one is powered by a quartz movement, and for once I do actually like the date window because it has that trapezoidy shape and the numbers go from narrow to fat as well. That's quite cool. That's a good touch. More and more I think Timex are doing some amazing things. They do like spreading themselves thin on thousands of watch designs, but they are doing a lot of things right at the minute. My second recommendation comes in a Casio fan's favourite, none other than the AE1200, also known as the Casio Royale. This watch to many non-watch folk looks expensive.
Look at all those windows, all those dials.
When in actual fact, the watch only cost around £30. And one of its main features, with not only 100 meters water resistance and a 10-year battery life, is it has a world time function. Dual time, in other words. I've had many of these watches in stainless steel bracelet form, rose gold, resin resin form, you know, when I wanted to look a little bit and the black resin one, and that's my favourite. However, not many people around the watch world has this reference. I quite like this one. And if you can find this for around £30, I think you'll be in a minority. So there we go, watches under £100 of all types that look far more expensive than they are. Honestly, you won't go wrong with any of these choices because they're not gonna break the bank too much, and I think you're gonna get a lot of wear out of them. If anyone owns one of these watches, give us a personal testimonial of it, and if there are any absolute beauties for under £100 I haven't mentioned yet, stick it in the comments. We are a community after all. I don't know every single watch. Most of you know more than I do. If you've got to the end, thank you so much. Just click there if you want to join. I'm sure you do. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, why don't you take a look at this bad boy? This is great. Click it, you'll love it. Go on, click it. Click it!